بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا، وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. لله تبارك وتعالى. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Let me greet all of you individually. This was something beautiful, right? That something y'all see Sheikh Waleed does it all the time. But I remember Sheikh Waleed used to do this in the prison. And we would have big sessions because our community was like huge, like average class, 75 to 100 people that would attend lessons. Besides the hundreds that were in our community. But he would recognize every single person in the class, excuse me. And he had like a way of with everyone's name, he would say something nice about that person. He was younger then, so it was like, but it was a beautiful thing he used to do. And then when I see him do it, it reminds me of I used to see how it made people feel when they were individually recognized. I think that was a good thing. May Allah reward him for such a good practice. So I'm not as good as him, but inshallah, let me recognize you. So Brother Garrett, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Sister Fatima Burke, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Abdul Batin, wa alaikum salam. Yuki, wa alaikum salam. Cousin Stanley, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Agi Mega, mashallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Sister Rosalinda, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Haja Stacy, wa alaikum salam. Islam Muhammad, wa alaikum salam. Sakina, wa alaikum salam. Abdullah al-Burhan, wa alaikum salam. Fatima Muhammad, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Siri Tanwir, wa alaikum salam. Brother Talib, wa alaikum salam. Wife of Africa, I'm so glad to be here. Samira, wa alaikum salam. Malik Muhammad, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. You still hanging in there, huh? Okay. Malika Abdul Rahman, wa alaikum salam. Aqila, wa alaikum salam. Raqiya, زوجة الرسول, wa alaikum salam. Abdul Wali, wa alaikum salam. Wafiya, wa alaikum salam. Imam of the boom boom bap, boom 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 bap, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Camden's finest. In a history lesson, Imam Fahim, I remember, I think that was like 83 or 84. Atlantic City versus Camden. We beat the pants off y'all at y'all home court. And then because we beat y'all by about 20 or 30 points, that blowout, y'all want to flat our tires and bust our windows and swing belts at us. Why I just couldn't take the beat down? Why you got to get violent? Sister Khadija Khadija McElroy, wa alaikum salam from Houston, Texas. MashaAllah. Sidi Murid, wa alaikum salam. Karima, wa alaikum salam. Ayub, Shu Habibi, may Allah give you afiyah. Wa alaikum salam rahmatullah. Abdul Rahim, wa alaikum salam. Sister Maryam, wa alaikum salam rahmatullah. And all of you others who didn't write, wa alaikum salam rahmatullah. So, inshallah, you know, we're 1 week away from the summit. Exactly 1 week for the beginning day of the summit, and 6 days away from the Friday night lessons that precede the summit. So next week, inshallah, we will all be together. Let me thank you all, because the registration for the summit has matched and maybe surpassed, I didn't check lately, but it has matched. Well, no, actually, we're surpassed the level that we had this time last year. So that for me is a big sign that those who registered have already surpassed what we did last year, which tells me it's working. And so I want to thank you for sticking in there, believing in what we're doing, despite all of the detractors that have come our way over the year. And no matter what, we still rolling. And so I want to thank you for that, mashallah. It is, this work is a struggle doing what we're doing. But when you're supported in your struggle, it makes it a lot easier. It's still a struggle, but when you feel that support, when you feel that people are with you, especially when you go through the changes and trials and tribulations of being out front, when you see the people behind you don't flinch, it gives you a lot more encouragement. So I thank all of y'all for your diligence and for your consistency and for your patience, and for your courage, you know, because there's been elements who tried to shake us, who tried to, they even called me a kafir, right? So usually that's the ultimate scare you tactic. Kafir. Uh-oh, I'm kafir, let me get in line. But I'm a field Negro, that don't work for me. I know my deen, I know my religion, right? That don't work. Can't scare me like that. You ain't no mufti. So don't pay me. Your judgment is like it's not a judgment at all. I don't pay that stuff no attention. Right? It's laughable. But the point wasn't about me, because that ain't gonna shake me. The point was to shake you. But guess what? None of y'all were shaking. In fact, y'all increased. Like, okay, he's kafir, good, let me join him. That was the mentality. If that's what you're saying about him, he must be right. Not that no one wanted to join kufr. That means you rejected the statement itself. Like, that's nonsense. So the judgment backfired. It increased my numbers. What was designed to decrease, increased it. But you've shown that we're learning. We can do it. We're not afraid. We're not intimidated. And we can do what we need to do for ourselves. So this is, I want to thank you for that, right? Seriously. Because if they can shake our resolve with nonsense, then the whole thing, we just stay as subservient to someone else. But when we stick together and we progress, subhanallah, we're going to be successful. So I just want to thank you for that. But I believe that this summit, what we've gathered for this summit, is going to be one for the history books, right? All of the speakers, all of the people. And as I was talking this morning about the summit, I said, listen, come as you are. Come prepared to be informal, or should I say relaxed. This is going to be a family reunion. We're going to learn. We're going to talk about our issues. We're going to benefit. But most important, yeah, I got your text, Nal Fatima. It requires, it's an easy answer, but I just, I got to write it. But it's easy. I got you covered, though. I'll answer it. So be prepared. Don't come with a lot of expectations. Come like we getting ready to have a cookout. Come like I'm going to a family reunion. We're going to have a cookout. We're going to have some fun. We're going to enjoy each other, but we're going to learn to develop that spirit of no difficulty. Just chill, right? Just relax and let's build. It's much better when you come like that. If you come with a bunch of all uppity and a bunch of expectations and this gotta be, nah, let's just be black, right? Just roll. Does that mean something to y'all? I don't know. Maybe I'm different. When I say just be black, do you understand what I mean by that? I just quick before we move on. Do y'all understand what I say? Just be black, man. I'm black. Could just be black. Do y'all know what I mean by that? I know Imam of the Boom Bap, he don't know how to be nothing else. Imam Fahim's, I'm black all the time. Right. There you go, Fatima. We giving hugs. We giving up some dap. Right. Keep it 100. See, we all know that. Right. That's how I want you to be. And when we're all like that, it's going to be all real. And we're going to get the most benefit. Right. We're going to get the most benefit. It'll be a weekend you'll never forget if you come like that. Right. You can buy tickets, and we're going to do some things virtual, but it's no way to capture all that virtually. Because the way we're going to do it, we'll capture some, but the feeling, you got to be there, right? The summit, like, it's something you got to feel. You can get some. We're gonna do some video stuff. Some of the lessons going to be put up. We're working on that, but not the whole thing. The atmosphere is more important than the lesson. The talks, that's nice, but really the atmosphere of us being together, the atmosphere of interacting with the teachers and the sheikhs and the presenters and the sisterhood and the brotherhood and just the family. That stuff you can't put on video. It don't work, right? That's something you got to be there. But we will share something. But as far as buying the tickets, you can support because there's a lot of people who want to come uh, that don't have the money. So the more we get in support, we can let people. We got a ticket for you. Don't worry about it. We got a ticket for you. Like yeah, like we had that family. Somebody brought it for the family, so they were able to attend. Like stuff like that. So you can just go to the thing and say this is a donated ticket, and we're going to look. This is we're going. This ain't. We don't just stop. This is just a stage. All right. With all that said, I want to talk about. So we talked about the individual in a brief way. We talked about family, and I think Sunday. I didn't put out the schedule because I'm feeling us from our conversations. How many of you really, really enjoyed or were intrigued or were frustrated or disagreed with that special Black Imams Roundtable with Sister Nora Cross and Sister Hadiya? I see it spread, but how many of y'all really enjoyed that conversation? Pros and cons, but you were engaged. And I saw it from that. But I'm talking about from y'all. What was y'all feeling about that discussion? Quickly. It was awesome. Imam Fahim hated it. Hater. That was organic, real talk. Okay, good. So what I'm thinking about, and I believe we're going to do it. I'm just trying to figure how. I think Sunday we're going to dedicate, since we have all these people, I think Sunday we should dedicate it to the issue of family and marriage. I think the whole Sunday should be about that. I was really thinking about that. So I think I'm going to make that change. That Sunday, because you're going to have sheikhs there, you're going to have counselors there, therapists there. All these people going to be there. Why not take advantage of that? Right? Why not let's have a family talk about marriage, about child rearing, about family, and just go for it. We got all the resources right there. All our questions can be answered. Everything's right there. Why not take advantage of it? What do y'all think? What do y'all think about that? Give me your thoughts. You got Sheikh Abdul Karim Yahya there. You got Sheikh Yahya Baltimore there. You got Sheikh Nasser Abdul Salam there. You're going to have elders. You got Imam Talib Abdul Rahim. You got uh, Ihsan Bagsby. These people who've been married for 40 years, 30 years, right? And people who got Imam Dawood, people who got marriages outside, interracial marriage. You got a lot of stuff there, all these resources. Why don't we take advantage of it? Right? You got Sister Sabria, you got Aisha Prime, you got Nuruddin Knight. People, you got everything, polygamy, you got everything's covered on the people we have. Every aspect is covered. We should take advantage of it. Why not? And it just be a big fat round table all day long, covering every aspect of the issue. What do y'all think? You got Imam Naeem, you got Imam Fahim, you got myself. You have all of these people And you got the people who want to get married, single, married people. Uh, you got all this stuff. Take advantage of it. Why not? So we get a consensus? What y'all think? You see what I said? Just be prepared to be like, should it already be done? No. We're going to do it as we do it. What do y'all think? Give me your thoughts. We got a consensus we should do it? This is your input. And then maybe someone will find some husbands and wives too while we at it. You can ask all the questions. You got the people there. You got the teachers. Go for it. All right. Seems like we got a consensus. All right, we're going for it. See, we all involved. So hopefully we can get some good marriages out of this, right? Marriages that are struggling can be improved. Marriages that are successful can be better. And people who ain't married may find a spouse or be on the road. Or we could set up, while we're there, a structure that facilitates people who want to get married. You already know, you got teachers, you got contact, you got interpersonal relationships. Let's go for it. MashaAllah. Okay. So I want to, now we got the other issue of community, but I'm not going to talk about that today, right now. So the community as a whole, we'll come back to that. I want to talk about Friday. So Friday night is going to be from 4 to 10 at night. Friday is May 5th, right? So this is going to be the first kickoff for the summit. Right? So Friday, Jumu'ah, May 5th, from 4 to 10 at Masjid Muhammad is going to be an all that night seminars about the various important Islamic sciences. So you're going to have Imam Dawood Walid, Sheikh Yahya Baltimore. They're going to be talking about issues of al-Aqidah and its principles. Sheikh Nasser Abdul Salam is going to be talking about al-Fiqh and its principles. That's going to be a nice one, right? And the Aqidah, of course, is going to be nice. But I'm looking forward to Sheikh Nasser's presentation. I'm interested how he's going to take this technical knowledge and transfer it in a language we understand. We had this talk, so I'm looking forward to see how he's going to navigate that. I think that's going to be, and you're going to introduce to another excellent teacher from our people that many of you might not be aware of, right? And you're going to have Sheikh Abdul Karim Yahya, who's going to talk about at-tasawwuf and its principles. And then finally, I'm going to show how all of those sciences connect and should be implemented in our lives, right? So after they're going to talk about all these sciences, and I'm going to show you how to connect them all to make it work. So that's a Nice lineup right there. And that's going to be so because it's so there'll be food, there'll be refreshments, and that will be the kickoff. So if you get there from Jumu'ah, you can get yourself together and you won't miss any of it. Why are we starting with those things? Because we have to lay down the foundations of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah, right? And it will also show you what we as Ahl Sunnah, Al-Asha'ira, Wal-Maturidiyya, in Al-Aqidah, in Al-Fiqh, the Hanafis, Malikis, Shafi'is, Hanbalis, and in At-Tasawwuf. And you'll see among us, we have qualified teachers that can articulate our deen and its primary sources, right? So we start with the primary sources. Once you see that, and then later we come in and we add the secondary sources so that you can see we have tools among us. We don't really have to not use our own resources. We have them. We have people who spent time studying, who can articulate this tradition well, right? And it's not just one or two of us. That's extremely important, right? Because you hear a lot often, people say, well, we don't have scholarship. And I'm saying we have scholarship in the making. And in terms of us, what we have at this stage is far more than we actually need. So let's take advantage of what we do have. And while we're doing that, we're building up to, as we develop and grow, people are constantly learning and developing and sharpening their scholastic skills to when we get where we need, they're there too, and we produce another generation that comes behind them. But you have to see, we have all the seeds. We have what we need. We're no longer in the position not to do our own stuff, to build, to be a united people and a united nation. We can do it. And we can talk real Islamic knowledge. It don't have to just be lectures or, entertainment purposes only. No. We could do real stuff that we need, because our unity is one thing, but we also need to unify on the truth. Right. So that is the aspect. So let me explain, because some people have this concern. We are Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. And I need y'all all to put that up. Follow me. So this is clear. Because for me, this is a very important aspect of what we're doing. We are Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Can we put that up? And everyone copy it. So I'll do my slow typing. Did everyone copy that? I want to get something done right here. Could everyone copy that and put it up? As you know, I like all of us to be involved. Some of us can hear, some of us are visual, some of us, we have different ways of learning. So we want to cover all of that. We are Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. That's our methodology. So as Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, the people of the Sunnah, the prophetic way, and the majority of the Muslim nation, don't let no one tell you anything different. We Ahl Sunnah, right? No doubt. And when we say Ahl Sunnah, primarily we're talking about the three main Islamic sciences, right? Of Islam, al-Iman, and al-Ihsan, which is interpreted as al-Fiqh, al-Aqidah, and al-Tasawwuf. That's what they indicate. So Ahl-Sunnati wal Jama'ah, in the issue of the belief, al-Aqidah, are al-Asha'ira wal Maturidiyya. So let's put that up. In al-Aqidah, we are Ash'ari and Maturidi. Copy that. If you don't know what that is, you ain't been listening well enough, and we need to make sure you understand. So we're Ahl Sunnah in general. Now we're going to break that down. In Aqidah, we are Ash'ari and Maturidi. You can copy it and put it up. We're not going to be confusing here. In Aqidah, we are Ash'ari and Maturidi. No confusion. We had a long talk about this after Jumu'ah yesterday. Oh, we had a powwow in the masjid. Because some of us, we want to play politics. And it's too many of us that play politics. I don't do all that politics stuff. No. Clarity. This is our position. We are Ash'ari or Maturidi. And that's what we understand Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah to be, and we ain't budging. So we got that part, right? So when you come to the conference, you're not going to hear no Wahhabi, Salafi, Athari stuff. You're not going to hear that. We're Ahl Sunnah. So we're not going to be ambiguous. Our thing is not the saying they're not welcome. Ahlan wa sahlan, you're welcome. Just like if you ain't black, you're welcome. But we talking about our platform, what we're doing. But you're welcome. We're brothers, we're sisters. We're trying to work with each other. We have, maybe you don't agree with an Aqidah, but our issues as a people, we agree. And we got to fix those issues, but we got to work on the Aqidah issue. Okay, fine. That's cool. But for us, we're Ash'ari and Maturidi. And we don't want that confused. Y'all follow me? We can talk, we can dialogue, but we ain't gonna mix things that are not supposed to be mixed. We are Ash'ari and Maturidi. That's our creed, that's our position. And that doesn't mean we cannot work together on issues. We can work together. And that doesn't mean we can't discuss issues that we disagree upon. It's clear, it's fine, no problem. But we need to be clear our position, right? So when Imam Dawood and Sheikh Yahya are going to present about Aqidah and its principles, they're going to present from that aspect. They're not going to mix and match. They're not going to do that. We are Ash'aris and Maturidis. And that's the creed of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah, right? Good. See, I like this stuff. See why we got to have conversations? Morning Sun, right? I have a question. Is Athari Ahl Sunnah? That's Ibn Hanbal Aqidah, right? That has details. And listen to what I'm saying. That has details. What are the details? It depends what the person means by authority, right? What do you mean by that? I ain't talking about you. I'm just so we can't go in that detail right now, but I'm giving you there's details. What do you mean by authority? Do you mean you read the verses of the Quran and the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that relate to the attributes and you recite them and remain silent about them while declaring Allah clear of resembling the creation? If that's what you mean by authority, that's Ahl Sunnah. If you mean by authority literalism, which leads to anthropomorphism, no, that's not Ahl Sunnah. So it depends what you mean. From our experience, contextual, every time someone says, I'm authority, what it always, from what we experience, I cannot make it all encompassing of every individual. I'm talking about our experience. Whenever someone says I'm authority, when we start talking, really, he's a Wahhabi, so-called Salafi, who's changed his name. If you mean that, no, that's not Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah, right? Now, if you mean, or someone means by authority, what I mentioned first, meaning we recite the verses of the Quran related to the attributes of Allah and the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam related from the attributes of, related to the attributes of Allah, we recite them full stop and then say Allah is not like his creation, then that's Ahl Sunnah. It's fine. If you mean other than that, no, that's not Ahl Sunnah. So that's a loaded question. So that's why, I'm not saying loaded from your part, that's why we don't include that when we say Ahl Sunnah, because when you say you're Ash'ari and Maturidi, that's clear. That ain't no ambiguity. That's clear, it's known, and that's what the majority of our scholars have been upon. So that authority thread among Ahl Sunnah is not a big one. It's a small group, and there's always been a small group. Islam, I can't get distracted with that. You can send me that question at another time, inshallah. So is my point about this clear? So when I don't say authority, because I know, and I'm talking to my people that I know, many Wahhabiyya, so-called Salafiyya, use that term to hide themselves. Because if you say Wahhabi, everyone knows. So they said Salafi. So they say Salafi, you forget about the Wahhabi. Then when they get Salafi becomes known to be Wahhabi, they switch to Athari. Now Athari is all hiding. It's all the same stuff in our context. Now, if someone means different, then they mean different and say it. That's all. If you mean different, say it. That's why I don't believe in not having a conversation. I'm never intimidated to talk to somebody about this issue. Even if we disagree, I'm cool with it. Let's just be clear. We disagree. Allah guides whom he wills. But we can have a clear conversation where we're not mixing things, where it's clear what I'm saying and clear what you're saying, right? And then if we agree, we agree. If we disagree, we disagree. That's life, right? But I think the problem comes when we're trying to deceive each other, right? And I ain't into that. Let's just be clear. And once we're clear, we'll distinguish. Even if you believe that, that's what you believe, that's what you believe. I can't do anything about that. Allah guides hearts. But don't act like we're saying the same thing when we're not. We're not saying the same thing. So let's be clear, right? All right. So I was clear. I wasn't ambiguous, right? I said exactly what I mean. If the case is not what I said, then it's not what I said. It's different. And then if that's what you mean, okay, that's Ahl Sunnah. And the Asharis and Maturidis feel the same way. So I don't know why you need this, right? Or you just say we don't do ta'wil. No one said you have to do ta'wil. Don't do it. Just have the correct belief. It's not obligatory for you to do ta'wil. Our scholars among the Asha'ira and Maturidiyya, they did ta'wil, figurative interpretation, so people don't fall into anthropomorphism. But their base is to recite the verses in the hadith related to the attributes of Allah, leave them as they've came, don't interpret them, and realizing that Allah is not like his creation. And that's the end of it, right? But if you're confronted with someone who is attributing Allah with attributes of created things, then you have to clarify that. And they have multiple ways of approaching that, the scholars of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. So that's Aqidah issue, right? So that's Ahl Sunnah. In Al-Fiqh, Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah, so we are, it said Ahl Sunnah. In Fiqh, so in fiqh, could everyone copy it? So we said Aqidah, Ash'ari Maturidi. In fiqh, we are Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i, Hanbali. One of those four madhahib. That's Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. You can ask whatever you want. If I can answer, I'll answer. If it's outside of what I'm talking about, or it's going to be some long drawn out thing, I'll just tell you I cannot answer. Right? Not that I can't answer. It may be just like this is not the space for that long drawn out discussion. But you can ask. I don't know what you're asking. So, right? So that's our fiqh. That's clear. So all of us follow one of these schools. So everyone that's going to be presenting, far as I know, is following one of these four schools. All of the ones who are presenting are either Ash'ari or Maturidi, right? When we're talking about religious stuff, so we may have people that got expertise that are not there, that's related to us as a people, and they may have a skill set in something we need, and they may not be Ash'ari or Maturidi. Some of them not even Muslim, and but they got things that we need that I didn't find among us. So we're going to have different people talking about different things that we need. Right? We live in a world, so we need to learn how to move. And if we don't have a tool, we need someone who has that tool. But our religious position remains the same. That has nothing to do with our religious position. So what I'm clarifying here is our religious position. So there's no ambiguity with what we're about. Right? So we're not a people who say, I just follow Quran and Sunnah. Right? Right? So when someone says that to me, oh, I follow Quran and Sunnah, I say, all right, good. We Ahl Sunnah. We follow a madhab. We're not mujtahidun. We are muqallidun. We follow qualified scholarship within the four schools, right? That's fiqh. So that's going. So the fiqh and its principles are all going to be according to one of those four schools. Lastly, in at-tasawwuf. In tasawwuf, yes, all of us believe in the validity of the science of tasawwuf, Sufism, and we follow the well-known Sufi spiritual paths, which are many. And so each individual may have their own way of how they chart out their spirituality. But as a principle, all of us accept the validity of the Sufi path in our terms of our spiritual, every single one of us. We don't all follow the same spiritual path and maybe not have the same sheikh, but the idea of tasawwuf is established with all of us. What it looks like according to each individual will differ, right? Depending where you learn from, right? But the science of tasawwuf is our methodology. So the summit, that's our foundation. And every other thing is built upon that. So whenever we have these issues, that's our reference. Is that clear? Is there any questions about that? Is this part clear as the sun at noon on a clear day? No one has any questions about our way. It's clear. You know what you're getting involved with. You know who you're coming around, right? So it's well known. I like clarity. I like just to be straight up. Not trying to trick you, not trying to ease you into something. No, this is what we're doing. You down or not? Which one? Pick it. Okay. And anyone who says anything different about us has lied. Anyone who says anything different about us have lied. That's a good question, Morning Sun. Do we need to follow a tariqah? Let me rephrase that question. Is it obligatory for me to follow a tariqah? No. What is obligatory for you is to remove the blameworthy characteristics that the sacred law forbid or prohibited and adorn yourself with the praiseworthy characteristics that the sacred law order us with. That's obligatory. If you can't do that by yourself and you can't do that with the help of a brother, then you need to take a spiritual path with a spiritual guide to help you do that. So the obligation here is what? To do the work. By whatever means that is accomplished, that's the obligation. If it can only be accomplished by way of taking a spiritual path, then you need to take a spiritual path. If it can be accomplished other than that, then it's fine. You did the job, right? So, in other words, let me rephrase it in a more practical way. If you can treat yourself and cure your illness, you don't need to go to a doctor. But if you can't remain sick. You must go to a doctor. Does that make sense? If you can fix your own sickness and you can cure it, that's the objective. You don't need to go to a doctor. If you can't do it, then you need to go to a doctor. In any case, you can't remain sick. Do you got the point? Can I take a shot? So to get the point across, do y'all accept? I want to take a shot at something to get the point across. Y'all ready? If you accept. Because this is a yeah, I have to. It'll make the point clear. I'm not gonna say no names, but I'm gonna just take a shot. I'm gonna throw a Scud missile. Right? Are you ready? Y'all accept? Look at that's New York for you. Ready? Get him, Imam. Right? And Tar Hero, get him. You can Philly, New York, troublemakers, right? They always want to fight. You get these people that try to narrow the religion in such a way that they're the only ones right, and you must follow us. If you don't follow us, you're a kafir eventually. You may be misguided, you may be confused, but ultimately you're a kafir. So they make people think the only way you can get the religion, and some of them say it, we're the only people with the truth. This is false. You have to follow the truth. You don't have to follow them. You get my point? The way they present it, and sometimes explicitly say it, if you're not with us, you're going to be misguided, you're going to go astray, you're going to commit blasphemy. Right? So the way they present it is if you don't follow us and our sheikhs, you're going to go astray. That's false. You're not obligated to follow their sheikhs or them. You're obligated to follow the truth of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. If you can accomplish that by following someone else, you don't even have to listen to them. You get my point? The obligation is to have the correct belief and the correct practice. Wherever you get that from, it's valid. You don't have to be Shafi'i, you don't have to be Hanbali, you don't have to be Hanafi, you don't have to be Maliki. You could be either one. You don't have to be Maturidi, you don't have to be Ash'ari, you could be either one. You don't have to follow the Shadhili Tariqa, the Qadiri Tariqa, Naqshbandi Tariqa, Rifa'i Tariqa, Ba'alawi Tariqa. You can follow either one of them, long as you follow the truth. Do you get the point? So there's no need for fanaticism. Follow the truth. And once you follow the truth, that's it. Do y'all get it? You get the point? So I threw my missile to those who be trying to make people think and teach the religion in a way that if you don't follow us, you're going to hell, which is crazy. But they scare you into following them. No, follow the truth. And Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah is the majority of the Muslim nation. There's multiple teachers, multiple scholars, thousands of books. You don't have to follow this individual particularly. You don't. You don't have to listen to him at all if you don't want to. You have to follow the truth. That's it. Do you got my point? Is that clear? Even if your sheikh's the best thing in sliced bread, that's good. But I want to follow that sheikh. And he's Sunni, he's Ahl Sunnah. And because I don't follow your sheikh, that doesn't mean I'm misguided. That just means I don't want to follow you. I don't even like the way you get down. Period. I don't like the way you get down. I don't want to follow that. I don't even want to follow the madhab you follow. I want to follow another madhab. I don't want to join your organization. I don't want none of that. I want to go over here and just be a good Muslim. And that's fine. You don't have to follow me. You don't have to listen to Amin Muhammad. You could go listen to Sheikh Abdul Karim. You could go listen to Imam Dawood Walid. You could go listen to someone else. You can listen to Imam Naim. We're not the same. He's Sunni. He's Ash'ari. He's Maliki. Qadri, right? Imam Naim, Qadri, right? Yeah, Qadri. Okay, you go follow him. It's fine. Imam Fahim, Ashari, Shafi, Shadili. Go follow him. It don't make a difference, right? Just follow the truth. You don't have to follow Imam Amin's way. You can follow another madhab. Just make sure you follow a madhab. Just make sure you have the correct aqidah. You don't have to follow me. If you like me and you like what I'm doing, ahlan wa sahlan. It's not an obligation to listen to me. And I shouldn't make you think that either. It's not an obligation for you to go to Masjid Muhammad and spend all your money at Masjid Muhammad and listen to the leadership of Masjid Muhammad. If you want to, good. You don't have to. Just make sure you follow the truth wherever you go. Do you follow my point? No, we need to understand that because people be trying to control us. And they'll go to the point to cancel everyone else. No one is Ahl Sunnah but us. In words, yeah, we're Ahl Sunnah, but when we talk, it's only us, no one else. That's a fallacy. Nonsense. Nonsense. You follow my point? And I'm not talking about scholarship because all of us have chains of narration. All of us learn from teachers. All of us have scholars we refer to who we choose, right? Right. All of us. I got teachers, a bunch of them, who are far more knowledgeable than me that I refer to when I get confused or when I don't know. I have a lot of teachers all over the world. But you don't have to listen to my teachers. You don't have to listen to me. Just make sure you follow the truth. If we speaking the truth and you want to follow that and you believe it, that's fine. But you can actually learn the truth from somebody else. It's fine. Just make sure it's the truth. Y'all follow? Am I clear with that? We have to learn to break all these ways that people try to enslave us. We have to just rip through that stuff. And when I say enslave, that's a mental enslavement or a spiritual enslavement, or really no one's going to put you in actual chains. I hope you're not going to let nobody do that, right? Wali, you want to get punched in the stomach? Keep it up. Abdul Wali, you want to get punched in the stomach? Keep it up. Stop making claims. I love y'all. I swear I love y'all so much. Go ahead. All right, I'm done. If any of you have questions, comments, statements, I'll give you 10 minutes, but I'm finished for today. Apology if it's off track. How do I become an imam? When I say imam, I don't mean scholar, by the way. And is it too late, mid-30s, to become an imam? No. Go learn. You really want to become an imam? Come get with us. We'll train you. And then go to your community and open a place and teach the people the creed of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah and the proper methodology of Ahl Sunnah. We'll help you. Come. Contact us. Give us your phone number. Send me a message. We'll help you. We need more. 30, you can come train with me and then I'll help you. And then you can get started in Masjid Muhammad. I'll put you to work. I don't know where you live, but come. And you can go to Imam Naim and Imam Fahim and we'll help you. And we'll allow you to develop. We'll put you to work. We'll teach you. We'll make sure you start teaching. We'll train you. We'll help you because we need more in our community. In your young age, if you're in the 30s, when you get to my age, that means 20-something years of experience. Man, get started now. It ain't too late. Perfect timing. Get busy. So contact me. The doors is open. We'll facilitate it. We got enough people to help you. And for listen, you ain't got to be no scholar, like you said. All you got to do is be able to do the basic Fard Ein. Let's learn that first. And then help people do the Fard Ein. We need people in every city. I'll take you on tour with us. I'll train you. I'll let you teach. Right? You're welcome. No, we need more. We need people to learn. We have a lot of work to do. Everyone here got to be taught in their individual cities. We need to go from city to city on the ground teaching. You serious? Come on, let's go do it. And we should get together and we should fund this work. All this is going to be at the summit. That's why I said bring your wallets and bring your checkbooks and because we have work. Somebody like you should be trained, should be taught, should be sent to go give da'wah. Teach you a book. Make sure you learn this book well. A summarized book in Aqidah, a summarized book in fiqh, a summarized book in spirituality, some basic hadith knowledge, some basic tafsir, right? Some basic Arabic so you can read a text a little bit, right? And then send you off to work. Yo, we have people in New York. You in New York, go to Albany and help Abdul Wali. He's struggling up there. You learned, you got the stuff. Here's the thing. This is what you learned. Here's authorization to teach these things you learned. Go help. Go help. Abdul Wali's by himself. Not no more. Here, Garrett is coming to help you. People in Florida need people. People in New Mexico. People in Texas. People, go help. That, and we gotta have a whole group of people doing that. And that's not just for you. That's for everyone who wants to learn, men and women. And we have to start doing that ourselves. And one of the biggest things we are missing, and I'm glad you said this, Garrett, may Allah reward you. We need to free people. That's all you do is train people. You're going to study, you're here, you're training, you have the ability to help. But if I got people that want to learn, I'm busy because I got to earn money, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do that. And we don't help each other like we should. A person like myself, a person like Imam Fahim, a person like Imam Naeem, all you should do is teach. You shouldn't be doing nothing else. And we, as a community, as a people, should facilitate that. You shouldn't do nothing else but teach. That's your job, to train people to go educate our people. You are a teacher. Imam, you should be training. That's all you should do. Nothing else. We don't accept that you at Mr. Charlie's. We don't accept that you in the marketplace. No, you in that masjid teaching people, running a school, educating our children so they look at African Americans doing the work. That's your job. That's where we have to get. Place by place by place. Do y'all follow what I'm saying? That's what the other communities are doing. That's why they're producing, because their teachers don't do nothing but teach. They don't do nothing else because their people support their teachers. So they got institutions. Someone asked me yesterday, you know, I'm friends with Sheikh Yahya. Sheikh Yahya wrote this. It's my man, my right-hand man, right? It's my buddy, right? So they asked me about Al-Maqasid, how they got a seminary and how they built all that stuff. I said, people support him. Sheikh Yahya don't do nothing. He's a teacher. When I say he don't do nothing, I mean, he ain't at Mr. Charlie's. He's not running his own business. He's a teacher. He's Sheikh Yahya. That's what he does. How did he do it? The people support him. They fund him. They support. They donate. They give big money. So all the teachers there, that's what they do. They don't do anything else. They're teachers. That's what they do. And the community supports it. That's how it works. If you don't support it, they're going to have to go get a job. They're going to have to go open a business. That's what they're going to do. And they're not going to be able to teach only when they get time. That's how it works. Do y'all realize that? I mean, I'm talking to us as a people. Do you realize that's a responsibility? We do it all the time. My wife is a school teacher. How do you think she gets paid? From tax dollars. We pay her. And if we didn't pay her, she wouldn't be going there. That's simple. The government takes our money and gives it to them. Simple. That's not a business. That's not they selling something. No. The government is taking tax dollars and we pay tax dollars and they pay the teachers. That's how it works. Even in the society we live. So where do we get off thinking is any different? Do you think any teacher gonna go to school for free? No. They gotta take care of their families. They're gonna go do something else, which means the kids are not gonna get educated. The society understands that. Why is that difficult for us to understand? Do y'all follow me? But it is quite difficult for us to I don't know why, but for us, it's natural stuff. And guess what that lack of trust is leading to, Anissa? A lack of educated Black people. Don't forget that part. We lack trust and we also lack education too. Don't forget it. It's a consequence for our lack of trust. A lack of education too. And a lack of building leaders, and a lack of building community, and a lack of everything because we lack trust. Don't forget that part. So we can lack all the trust we want, but look at the result of lacking trust. Y'all follow me? It's real stuff. That's real. I don't know another way to tell you. Don't think we don't have people capable of doing what I do every day and better. We do. We have many African American teachers who can do what I do and better, but they don't have the freedom that I have. So they got to go. A lot of them are working for someone else, some other institution, for some other people, and they keep them busy that they can't do this because they're working for somebody else. I know a bunch of them, and I know a bunch of them, and I was talking to the brothers yesterday. They're like, why dude ain't in the community? I said, why you don't pay him? He got to eat, but the other institutions pay him. That's why he's there. He probably would love to be here with you. I know for a fact he would love to be with you, but you don't want to help. You just want to talk. You want to save all your money for yourself, but you don't want to invest in your own community. And then you want him to sacrifice his family and children so you can get freebies while he suffers. Come on, man. That's not even fair. But you get out of here. So you wondering, oh, he's a sellout. He ain't a sellout. You a sellout. You won't help. He got to do what he got to do to take care of his family. And if he come try to help you, he going to starve. And his kids are going to be in trouble. And his wife going to be hollering at him every day. Come on, now. Stop. Be serious. And everybody don't have the same resources. Y'all follow my point? So yes, I'm going to ask you for some money to do this work. And if you don't trust that I'm doing the work, well, how are you getting here every day? Somebody doing something. Every day you touch your computer and you see me, right? So obviously I'm committed to doing the work. Help me get others. Help me do the work. Do your part. That's what we need to do. Seriously. All that is a part of the summit. So I expect during the summit, we raise enough money to bring in some teachers, to travel, to go around the country, to spread this message, to empower other masajid. That's a whole hope, a whole layout of stuff. Because the summit is just to bring us together. The real work is what we do after the summit. Can't just feel good. We got to actually do some work, right? And we've done it. From summit to summit, we doing more and more. We got more to do. This is a lifetime journey. This is a life. We're going to do this till we die. There's no retirement. And we should be building and building and building and building till we die, till we pass the baton to brothers like Garrett and the next generation. To when our little grandchildren and children grow up and they're leaders because we laid the foundations and they have a whole community around the world. They're connected around the country with their people, and then they network with other communities, right? We got to do the work. Seriously. I was with Maqasid when they ain't have nothing. I'm telling you, I was there from the early days. I traveled with Sheikh Yahya all around the country, all around the world to help build Maqasid. They have a whole campus now. They'll be at the summit. They'll be at the summit because we're like this, right? He'll be there. Maqasid will be there, and their hands are open, whatever we could do to help. And they help all the time. They're not all black. There's a few blacks there. We've integrated the place. I'm messing with you, Sheikh. Right? We've integrated the place, but they down. We just got to show we want to work. People's willing to help. They're willing to support. They down. We ain't racist. Y'all do realize that I'm not a racist, right? I love Muslims. I don't care where you're from. I just realize that sometimes that love ain't reciprocal, and I'm not deluded. I love Muslims. I don't care where you from. Y'all was here. Y'all saw the other day. I barely kept myself together thinking about Sheikh Samir. He's Syrian. He's an Arab. His children are like my brothers. They're Arabs, though. But I love them with all my heart. Sheikh Walid is an Arab. Sheikh Yahya is white. Sheikh Nisar is Pakistani. These are my closest friends. Like, we roll together, sleep together on the floor, traveled all over the world together. We like this. We've been in the dungeon together, some of us. But these are special people. But a lot of people ain't like them. I call them right now, and they could call me, and we there. They like that. Everybody not. These are people who have internalized Islam, though. They understand the deen. And when you understand the deen, all that other stuff go out the window. But when we don't have an understanding of the deen, oh my good, it's a problem. That's a big problem. Then all these diseases that we need to fix come out. And because they out, we're going to address them because we want to get rid of them. Right? We're going to get rid of those diseases. Because ultimately, this is the nation of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we should be ummatun wahida, one nation. But if we got all these diseases, that's just a fantasy. It's not real. We have to make that a reality, not just some words we read in the Quran or in the Hadith. No, it's something we got to live. And in order to deal with it, you got to tackle it. And that's what Malcolm X said, as Imam Naim so eloquently put, that Malcolm X said, so long as these conditions that made me become Malcolm X still exist, I'm always going to be Malcolm X. As long as these conditions still exist, as long as we have unfair treatment towards a certain segment in this nation of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, inadequate resources, undermining, racism, we're going to address it until it's removed. That's it. We're not going to stop. So sometimes when you going to stop talking about this black stuff, when you stop making me talk about it with all your bad behavior, with all your racist treatment, when you stop doing that stuff, then I'll stop talking about it. When you show me that you love black people just as much as you love your people, then I'll stop. But so long as you are not treating Black Muslims the same way you treat other Muslims, long as you're not giving the same opportunities and the same access to Black Muslims like you do with your own people, I'm going to talk about it until you stop. And if you don't stop till I die, I ain't going to stop talking till I die. That's how that works. Do you follow my point? And I would hope if we were doing the same thing, you would do the same thing. But Black people don't do that. When you come to our masjid, you don't feel like you white, get out of here. You Pakistani, get out of here. You Arab, get out of here. No, you feel like a brother. So why when I come to your place, I got to feel like I'm Black and what am I doing here? I was talking to a brother. I swear I tell you no lie, and I'll stop after this, right? A brother went to a masjid. I won't tell you the place. So we were talking, my wife, his wife, and him. So I asked him, how y'all feel there? And he started trying to be politically correct. I said, would you stop it? He turned to his wife. He said, sorry, honey, I got to be honest. I cracked up laughing because I saw already, I know the environment. I know what you feel. I just want to see if you're going to be honest. And he started being politically correct. And then I said, would you knock it off? He looked at his wife and said, sorry, baby, I got to be honest. Then you know what he said? I feel like, what you doing here? Wow. He's Black. He said, I feel like, what are you doing here? And you know what he said? I'm not broke. I got money. I have money, and I still felt like, what you doing here? That has to change. You around Muslims. Why you feel like that? You should feel like this is my home. Why are you around Muslims? And because you Black, you feel like, what are you doing here? What the heck is wrong with that picture? That's a disease. You should never feel that way. You follow my point? I'll give you an example. And I'm going to show you the spirit just so we can get the point. We were at a place, and me and Imam Naim. Now, all of y'all know Imam Naim, what's his nickname? All of you know. Imam Naim, what's his nickname? Tell me. Imam Naim Abdullah, this guy. Not Africa. What's his nickname? What we call him? Right? All y'all know that, right? There is no way you follow me and you don't know him. You can't. If you follow me, you're going to know him. We always cooperate. And we've been cooperating for at least 16 years, maybe even 20 years. Allahu Alam. We've been working together, doing stuff. Radio, we was doing Blog Talk Radio and all kinds of stuff. I don't know. Imam Naim, how long was Blog Talk Radio ago? What's that called? Pal Talk. We've been around each other for years. It's a long time, right? We went to a place. I was speaking. Imam Naim came in, and they put him in the nosebleed section. I'm like, ho, no, yo. What the heck is this? That's how state it is. He's Black. Get back. I'm like, oh, no. Yo, bring him up. Oh, no. You remember that, Imam Naim? You don't got to mention the place. Do you remember that? He's no different from me. Whatever I get, he should get. Right? Whatever I get, he should get. But the default position is he's Black. He's Black, so get back. No, that's wrong. He's an Imam. He has a community. He's a teacher. He's an educator. He should be treated like he's more educated than most of these people here. He's working hard on the ground more than most of the people sitting up here acting like they some big shakes. And he's sitting in the crowd. Get out of here. Bring him up front. But if I don't say nothing, yeah, go ahead, sit in the nosebleed, black man, get back. He's our leader. He needs to be respected. If someone else comes from somewhere else, he's going to be honored. Why does our black imam have to sit in the crowd? No, fix it. And what happened? They brought you up front, right, Imam Naeem? Remember, there's no respect. And even if they drop the ball, okay, you drop the ball, pick it up. We ain't going for that. No. I'm not going to say, sorry, pal, get your weight up. No, we can't be like that. We got to love ourselves, period. We have to love ourselves, and we have to respect our leaders. And we have to make others respect our leaders. Yeah, he's a funny dude. He said, yeah, and I started getting the good tea. No, this is the way it got to go. And believe me, if you don't say nothing, people subconsciously have this mentality, and it's just the norm. If you don't correct it, it will continue. They just think like that. It's not, they don't even realize what they're doing sometimes. I'll give you I'm sorry. I know I said I would stop. I want to share this story. I was a construction manager. I used to like lead man, foreman, running the job. Right? So we was doing this big hotels in Atlantic City, right? Huge. So I would come in the morning early, get my crew together, send them to work, and I'd walk the job. So I saw another crew, got different crews. So I saw another crew, this white guy who's a worker, a laborer. He's sitting there reading the paper. Now, there's a lot of work going on. This guy reading the paper, sitting on his dumpster reading the paper. So I walked by him. I said, yo, man, you better get to work before you get yourself in trouble. He looked at me. He ain't on my crew. Because he's on my crew, he would have got more than fired. Right? But he wasn't on my crew. You know what he said to me? He said, oh, I don't got to worry about that. I'm white. And he was serious. He said, I don't got to worry about that. I'm white. I said, deep. Oh, I said, guess you told me, right? I said, you lucky you don't work for me. Because you be white right out the door. But that's what he said to me. I swear, I no lie. He said, he was reading the paper. He said, I'm white. I don't have to worry about that. And Malcolm X said that. He said, when he was talking about Hajj, he said when he went to Hajj, he saw white was just incidental. He said, but when white is said here, it means something different. They said white, just incidental. I just happen to be white, but I'm a Muslim. He said here, when they say white, it means something different. I'm boss. I'm white. I'm the man. I'm boss. I'm white. That's what he said. And that's what that white guy, who was a bum labor, and I've seen he lowest of the totem pole in construction, he talking about something I'm white. I kid you not. And that mentality exists. We was at a university. My wife grew up as a Muslim, born as a Muslim in Atlantic City. I've been a Muslim since I was practicing knowing about Islam. We don't want to talk about Aqidah and all that stuff. I'm talking about, it said the Shahada when I was 10 years old. These little 20-year-old Pakistani kids talking about we the original Muslims in Atlantic City. You out your mind, right? That's disregarding. The first communities in Atlantic City was all black. What do you mean? You 20-year-old kid talking about you the original Muslims in Atlantic City. You lost your mind. But they actually, they don't know no better. That's what they're taught. That's the environment they're taught in. They don't know no better. And Isla's head spin around in the 360 like the Exorcist. What you say? Right? No, seriously, come on. We have to correct this stuff. And you don't think we need a movement of African Americans that are serious? This stuff is desperately needed. More than it was needed in the 60s. More than it was needed in the 60s. Because we sleeping. So, all right, that's long enough. Y'all got the point? Do y'all see the necessity of the African American Islamic Summit? Do you get the idea why this is so important? Why it must be a success? Why we got to talk real issues and no political nonsense and political correctness? Nah, we got to be raw, real, straight up. We got to be black. Oh man, Fatima, now you just opened up a whole new 2-hour talk. Should I have it or should I stop? No, I have to go. I can't have it. That's a whole 2-hour talk. MashaAllah. By the fact that that's false, but that's a whole nother 2-hour lecture. If I open that bag, I've been avoiding that bag for years. If I open up that bag, I think the harm is greater than the benefit. That's why I close it. I be wanting to. My hatred of that behavior and that mentality, I want to open up that bag, but as a collective, I don't think it's wise. So I don't. Right? But in my heart, I would like to just shred that stuff. But I think the harm is greater than the benefit. When we learn, then we can just shred it. But two things have to happen before we can, before we could deal with our oppressors, we have to deal with us first. Can y'all put that up? Before we deal with our oppressors, we have to deal with ourselves first. Can y'all put that statement up, please? Before we deal with our oppressors, we have to deal with ourselves first. Can we put that up? That's an important point. Before we deal with our oppressors, we have to deal with ourselves first. It's very important to understand that. This is important. Can we all copy that? We need to understand this point. Before we deal with our oppressors, we have to deal with ourselves first. Can we all put that up? That's very important. Follow me, Stacy. Tell you why I say that. If you yourself don't have self-confidence, don't have self-dignity, don't have honor, don't know your religion, don't know your own humanity, you're never going to face the oppressor properly. If you yourself are not confident. Soon as he hits you with a good punch, you're going to drop your hands and go to sleep. So first, before we take on that fight, I need to make you a lion, right? Before you go in the ring, you already need to know how to fight. You already need to know how to take a punch. You already need to know how to duck. You already know how to need to counter. If I put you in the ring and you don't know how to fight, you're going to get knocked out. So I have to deal with you first. I have to train you. I have to teach you how to fight. I have to hit you with some stuff so that when you get in the ring, you already ready. Do you understand my point? So when you're talking about people who have a superiority attitude and you're inferior, they're going to beat you up all the time. But if you already come ready, you're going to actually know that, nah, you ain't like that. I can take you. Right? You know, Mike Tyson used to win most of his fights before they started. Because before the person got in the ring, they was already scared. But once someone wasn't scared, they actually found out that Mike Tyson is really not that good. He has a lot of flaws. And if you can get past scared to get knocked out, you can beat him. So that's why after Buster Douglas bust him up, his career went the other way because people weren't that scared of him. And they learned where his weaknesses was and they were able to fight back. And that's why he lost so many fights after that. Because before they got in the ring, they were scared. They was already like, man, he gonna knock me out. Do you understand my point? So when we're dealing with others, we first got to stop being intimidated. And that's how we have to be. You can't be scared. So individually, some of us are lions, but collectively, a lot of us are lambs. We like sheep ready for get slaughtered. And they take advantage of that. They see that we're inferior sometimes. Your Arabic ain't that good, so you get intimidated because you don't speak Arabic. They throw some Arabic terms and you crumble. That's all the game. They quote a few hadith, quote some ayat because you don't know, you get intimidated, twisting stuff all over, mixing. I give you an example. One of them guys did that to me. We were talking. He's quoted 2 verses. I don't know what he was smoking. He quoted 2 verses. I said to him when he finished, I said, okay, that sounds great. Tell me one scholar, classical scholar of tafsir, who said those verses mean what you just said. Tell me one. He started stuttering. I said, tell me one. Then he didn't even have enough piety to say, I don't know. He started making up stuff. I said, fine. I'm in my library right now. Here's the book. I opened it up. None of that. I said, it's not here. What are you talking about? He named another book. I said, here, that's in my library too. Opened it up. Nothing. You're sitting here making up stuff. And you got a bunch of black people following you. You making it up. You don't even know what you're talking about. Just because you're an Arab. Man, you don't get out of here, Joker. Go learn. You need to go learn. But you don't even expect black people to have books because you told black books don't read books while you read all the books and your people read all the books and subjugate us. And them dumb Negroes follow you in that. But you got whole, right in front of them with whole libraries and these stupid Negroes are listening to you. And they sitting there reading some book you translated. Man, get the hell out of here. You don't go fly a kite. But we're afraid ourselves. Man, you can't go against boss. Are you crazy? Man, that chump ain't your boss. Get out of here. But they've got us like that. We afraid. We are scared of our own shadow. But I bet you if it's one of us, we'll kill us. We'll fight us all day. We'll go against us. But go up against somebody else? Oh, no. You can't do that. But us, you got all the energy to fight me. Go fight that man oppressing you, taking all your resources and sending them overseas. Go fight him. Go refute him. Go tell him all the lies he's telling and all the fabrications that you know about. Okay, I got a call to stop. So he get ready to go off on his bandwagon. No, this is us. Right? If y'all got my point. Do y'all got my point? And that's why I said, if you open this bag, there's a whole nother 2-hour lecture. No, it's serious. We have to stop being inferior to anybody. We are a nation of people who have the right for independence, freedom, and excellence, just like everybody else. And we must get that in our minds. Forget telling somebody else. We better tell ourselves that. And we better show ourselves that we can do it. Forget anybody else. Because it's just rhetoric if you're telling them. You better tell yourself. And you better do it. You sitting around complaining about why people got all the business in your neighborhood. Why you don't throw them out and start your own businesses in your neighborhood? You crying about the prices. Why don't you open your own businesses and support your own businesses and make your own prices? Why don't you compete in the open global market? Why you got to just be a servant class? No. You can build institutions too. You can have leaders. You can respect your leaders. You can build. You can do the same thing. Why you don't do it? Why you complaining about what they ain't doing? What you ain't doing? Do your work. Be men. Be women. Be a people. Stop being afraid of your own shadow. Get busy. Okay, I have to stop. I hate this stuff. From the bottom of my heart, I hate to see black people subjugated. I hate it. It's a munkar. It's an evil. And Allah told us to forbid the munkar. That's one of the biggest munkars happening to us. That somebody told us we're not eligible to chart our own path, to lead our own people. I hate that stuff. I don't agree at all. Period. I don't agree. And I'm going to work hard until I die, inshallah, till we change the narrative. And if we die in the process, that we pass the ball to our children and they pick up the baton and they keep going till we see real freedom among our people, especially as Muslims. May Allah reward you all. I got to go. Hey, this is just a taste of what the summit going to be like. We going in. Barakallahu bikum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.